Last night, after the Mets scored 5 runs in the top of the ninth inning and they're leading 10-4, I, in my infinite wisdom, say, you know what? Even though I'm concerned that Casey Stengel has taken Lugo out of the game, right? Earl Weaver, whatever you want to call our manager. I was concerned because I never am confident in a Met lead with this bullpen. But okay, 6-run lead. They're going to win tonight. Right? They're going to win. So I said, I'm going to go to bed. I'm going to sleep. I'm tired. So I go to sleep. I get up, and I'm mentally, this game is in the win column in my mental Met fan mind. And mental is the key word there. So anyway, I as I always do, I get up about 4:30 in the morning. I pop on the Great Harris Allen at 20-5, just to see, what was the final score, the Yankee final, all that. And he says, gets right to it. I forget the exact words, but he wasted no time in telling me that the Mets lost this game. And it took me a couple, seriously, I was like, what? It was like I got hit, it was like Muhammad Ali just hit me with, one of those, the phantom punch. That's how I felt. I couldn't believe it that they blew this game. Bro, I still to this moment, I'm having a hard time believing that they lost it. How did they lose this game? How can you lose? Oh, my God. This was rarely do I break a baseball game down like I would break a football game down for losses. When the Jets have the brutal loss, you're going there's 50 different things that went on in the game.
Every play, every moment.
Right, this didn't happen. And that's how I felt with this game. And first of all, you could never – I said this the other day when they had the 7-0 lead. I said this yesterday, that I was nervous with Batchelor in the game. And they get out of it, they win 7-3, okay. But you need to win every damn game now. You can't assume that this bullpen, which is loaded with basically single-A pitchers, basically this is what they are. These are non-major league pitchers. You can't assume that they're just going to get it done. You can't. I don't care how big the freaking lead is. So he takes Lugo out, which turns out to be a monumental mistake. And here's the other thing. How do you not go to Justin Wilson in this game, bro? How do you, after Sewell does what he does, you go to Avalon before you go to Justin Wilson, who really, to me, him and Lugo are the only 2 relief pitchers they have that I have any confidence in whatsoever. How does Wilson not come into this game? I don't get that either. I don't care lefty, righty, it doesn't matter.
There are many, many things that I have still not gotten through my head 11 hours later from last night.
It's unbelievable.
Last night still feels like a bad dream.
I swear to God. I can't. 100%.
And
100%.
So I had my fantasy draft last night. And somehow...
How's T-Roy, by the way?
T-Roy's great.
Yeah, he's probably even happier after the Mets blew that game.
Well, he sent me... I'm sure he is. He's a Yankee fan. But T-Roy, Troy ran the league, and Ernie, and a lot of people sent me the same text message that I eventually saw, which was, we wish we could have warned you. Because I got through the draft with zero knowledge of the game. So I got home.
Right. What time is the draft over?
It was over almost at 9 o'clock. It was quick.
All right. So the game was still, the Met game was still going.
Met game's going on, but I have no idea. I get home.
Oh, because you want to see from the beginning.
Of course. It's Jake versus Max. It's a big game. I'm excited.
Right.
I get in my pajamas, and by pajamas, I mean my boxers and no shirt.
Right.
I'm comfortable.
Right. I actually have Met pajamas.
Do you really?
I really do.
I would burn them this morning. So I sit down, I'm eating a muffin, I'm watching the game. It's great. And I love it because I'm skipping commercials.
Right, stellar.
I'm skipping, the 10 seconds between. I'm having a great time. Of
course.
I'm watching Jake struggle, but fight. That's what I love about Jake. He fights.
And he fought last
every
inning. Got a lot of help from the Nationals, too, who made a lot of bonehead plays.
They sure did.
A lot of plays in this game that, unbelievable.
But think about
you can't make it up.
How many times Jake either made a big pitch to get a double play or a strikeout to end an inning.
He had 2 huge double plays to get out of trouble. No doubt about it.
He was great. Yep. He was fat.
He got a little help from Matt Adams not running the bases right either.
Head up his ass.
Right.
Now, and when I say great, he wasn't great in terms of dominating, but he fought.
He did fight.
Battles.
No doubt about it.
And the Mets have one big inning against Max Scherzer, and I'm feeling good.
Yep.
I didn't love him starting the 8th because I thought he was done at 95 pitches.
Yeah, he looked gassed yesterday.
I think he was gassed.
Right.
And so I didn't love Mickey letting him start the 8th, but you know what? I let it slide because Mickey rode his horse. He said, I trust Jake. I'll let him start the 8th.
And Rendon hit a little roller that they couldn't make a play on.
Yeah.
And before, Soto, who hit him all night. He killed
I am
him all
starting
night.
to hate that guy.
Well, how could you not?
I mean, it's growing fast.
I mean, they're a very hateable team.
Every aspect of them.
Yes.
So he goes to Lugo in the 8th. Great. Good. Go for the win. Let's do it.
Of course.
And he gets to 3 outs, barely breaks the sweat.
Right. I think he threw 9 pitches to get to 3 outs.
Yeah, it was nice and easy.
Oh, this is great.
And then, Brandon Nimmo's hitting a home run.
Yeah.
Joe Paddock continues to be productive.
Right.
And then Trey Turner. Oh, this is great,
I
Joe.
couldn't believe it.
Trey Turner.
I was shocked.
Forgets how many outs there are.
Can I say this?
Go ahead.
That play probably cost us the game.
It
because
did.
if they turn the double play there, he's leaving Lugo. What was it, 6-4 at that point? He's leaving Lugo in the game.
You know what? Even if McNeil, because McNeil takes advantage of it with a 2-run hit.
2-run hit.
See, what really to me eliminated Seth Lugo was Pete Alonso.
Hitting the home run.
Pete Alonso, how dare you hit that 2-run home run? How dare you? Because I actually think at 8-4 he keeps Lugo in. He says, I don't want to screw around. So Alonso hits the home run. I'm feeling good.
Yeah. And I was feeling good, too. I mean, I'd be lying to you.
Of course. Now, I want to be perfectly honest. When he takes Lugo out, this is my thought process.
Right.
I'm not mad, but I say, boy, if this thing gets dicey, your insurance policy is gone.
Right.
Because Seth Lugo's your best reliever.
No question.
So a part of me said, you know what? Maybe you do keep him in. Just get this game over with.
You got to win the game. Forget
Thursday.
about it. You're saving him for tomorrow. I mean, because you lose today, what good is saving him for tomorrow?
Means nothing. And you have an off day Thursday.
Right,
so if you've got to push Seth another day, push him another day.
Right.
If there's a time to push him, the time is now.
No question.
But all right, he goes to Paul Sewald.
Oh, my God. Who's a single-A pitcher. Let's be real. He's terrible.
And the worst part is the first hit he gave up, infield hit.
Right.
And then he gets an out.
It's always that.
One out. Right after that out, Howie Kendrick flied out. My wife, she opens her eyes. She was sleeping. And I said, hey, baby, Mets are going to win.
Did you
what
say,
a moron
did you
I
say,
am.
you really
I
did
said
say
it. Yeah.
Did you say that?
About 5 minutes later, she hears me mutter, I said it way too fast, baby. Way too fast.
Oh,
because Trey Turner double. As Drupal, I can't stand looking at him.
Oh, my God. Of course.
Anthony Rendon.
Well, I think I can't stand looking at him.
And then finally, Mickey says, gee, golly, I should take Paul Sewald out.
You think?
It took him long enough. And instead of going to Justin Wilson.
He has to go to it. I mean, how is Wilson not in this game?
He is, without a shadow of a doubt, the second best reliever on this team after Lugo.
It's not even debatable.
Not close. So he goes to Avalon, who gives up a hit. Then he goes to the immortal Edwin Diaz. Well, here's the moment, Joe. September 3rd. I'm done. Get him out. I can't look at him. He doesn't deserve another chance.
No.
I thought Phil Regan fixed his slider.
Yeah, okay.
I thought he was different. He's worse than ever. And he is. You said this off air. You're right. He's the worst closer the Mets have ever had.
Ever.
And he's not the closer anymore.
Right.
Whatever he is.
The worst closer in the history of this. You could say whatever guy you could kill Benitez. You could kill Frankie Rodriguez, Billy Wagner, Braden Lupa, Franco. We could go down the line. If I missed anybody, let me know. All right? Going back to Tug McGraw, Jesse Orozco, Roger McDowell, whatever guy you want to give me. This guy is the worst we've ever had. If you want to pin, outside of the manager, who's terrible and he's got to go, outside of Casey, okay? If you want to pin this now lost season on one guy,
it's him.
It's got to be Edwin Diaz. It's got to be Edwin Diaz.
We knew as the Mets were going on the run, the most important player was Edwin Diaz. And on a night like last night, he could have very easily come in and struck out Ryan Zimmerman and struck out Kurt Suzuki. And you know what we would have said this morning? We would have said, they made it dicey, but they won.
Right.
That's what we would have said.
And we would have said, hey, maybe Diaz has got it, found it.
Yeah, maybe he's figuring it out.
Right.
And instead, he was the worst of the bunch.
Oh, my God.
Because the Ryan Zimmerman double was a screaming line drive. And then Kurt Suzuki? And it was a bomb.
Of course.
Oh, my God. And here's what's crazy. When Suzuki's up and they're second and third and one out, I'm actually not even fathoming
they're going to lose
that
the game
he's going to hit a home run. I'm thinking he's just going to tie the game with a base hit.
Right.
And it'll be a slow death. And instead, Edwin Diaz just put us all out of our misery.
Unbelievable.
And it was stunning. It was disgusting. And I know it's emotional. It's been less than 12 hours. This is the worst regular season loss I've seen in a decade.
Yeah, I agree. I couldn't agree with you more. I mean, it was a gut punch of a loss last night. It was a gut punch. I don't know how else to say it. It reminds me of a Jet loss because I'm sitting there. You're breaking all these things down during the game. You know, I mean, Washington's playing like they could care less. I mean, Matt Adams dropped a pop-up in this game. You know, that base running blunder. Trey Turner, you know, forgetting that there's two out, there's only one out. So many different that they played this very, very sloppy game, Washington. They did. You know, Scherzer wasn't great. They got to him, like you said, that one inning. Everybody's swinging at the first pitch, and they wind up getting 4 runs. Panic hits the home run. And like you said, Jake wasn't at the top of his game, but, you know, he got him through 7 innings. He had him in position, as he always does, to win the game. And it's uncanny. No matter what, there is nothing. What does Jake have to do to win a game? Did the Mets have to be up 30-0 for Jake to win a game?
Feels that way.
I mean, it's just unbelievable.
And I'm telling you, there are certain triggers that will just annoy the hell out of me.
Oh, my God.
If you ever call up and cite how many wins Jacob deGrom has, you've triggered me. Because it's so pointless and disturbing and has nothing to do with him.
I thought he was going to get a win last night where he actually gave up some runs.
Yeah.
Like, for once, he gave up 4 runs, but the offense is going to win it for him.
Yeah, they're going to reward him.
Right.
The bullpen held it. Yeah, he was and he deserves about 50 of those, by the way.
Do you think?
How many of those does he deserve?
Please.
But to lose this game, and I was thinking about this. It was popping through my head. Worst regular season loss. Forget the playoffs. It's a whole different world. Regular season loss. This is the worst regular season loss since not the last game in 2007, the last game in 2008, the closing at Shea Stadium, when they lost on the final day of the year and missed the playoffs.
Right.
There is not a regular season, and there are bad ones. Luis Castillo at Yankee Stadium, Ryan Church missing third.
I could go back to a few back in the 80s that were pretty bad, too.
Oh, of course.
Terry Pendleton in 1987, you know, if you remember that game. A little before
changed
your time.
The course of that race. No,
right. You know, so there's been like a lot of bad ones, there's no doubt. This was a gut punch of a. I mean, you got a 6-run lead in the 9th inning. How can you lose this game? And again, the fact that Justin Wilson is not in this game is mind-boggling to me.
And he's warming up.
How do you not put? Forget. Okay, Avalon. How do you put Diaz in ahead of Wilson?
Why? Because
how did you do that?
Because of the righties.
Oh, please
stop it! Edwin Diaz can't get me out right now.
Stop it!
It doesn't matter. You've got to go to your best reliever. Their best reliever is Seth Lugo. He took him out because he got cocky with a big lead.
Right, exactly.
And his second best reliever is Justin Wilson.
Yep.
If you are a Met fan, and I heard a few people call me up about this and say, I'm worried Mickey's going to be back next year. Don't worry.
Yeah, he's gone.
He's done.
Yeah, he's gone. I completely agree. This sealed his fate yesterday.
And look,
he's out.
Is this game squarely on Mickey? No, it's squarely on Paul Sewald, Luis Avalon, and more than that, Edwin Diaz, who stinks.
Yep.
Who's awful, who can't handle this town and has to go.
Yep.
Brody, you screwed up.
Yep.
All right?
Yeah,
you made a great move for J.D. Davis, a nice signing for Wilson Ramos.
That's it.
That trade you made, instead of doubling down on it, get out.
Yep.
Get out of it.
I told you, bro. They should have traded him at the deadline. There were teams that actually wanted this guy while he still had some. People thought he still had something. They should have dumped him then. I know the Red Sox wanted him. I would have, whatever. Give me anything. Get him out of here. He's a disaster.
No, he's a disaster.
Disaster.
He cannot be on this team next year. It's over.
Nope.
He had a chance to kind of make you not forget the first few months, but at least contribute to this team in a pennant race. And last night, when they needed a freaking hero out of the bullpen, he comes in and gives up a screaming line drive to Ryan Zimmerman and a bomb to Kurt Suzuki. That's what he does.
Yep.
That's what this guy does. Brody Van Wagenen gave up premium prospects and took on Robinson Cano's awful contract for that. It was the Edwin Diaz trade. It always was. And it's been a failure. And what Brody Van Wagenen's got to do now is he's got to understand that he done screwed up. Okay? And you've got to move on. This guy is a disaster. And you were right. I'll give it to you. You wanted him out in June. All right. I was wrong. I was way too patient with this guy. Well, it's over. I'm done, especially after last night.
Oh, that was unbelievable, man. You're right. That's the worst regular season loss since the last game of 2008. You're 100% right. I mean, it was a gut punch of a loss. And like I'm telling you, it was like a blown Jet game that I've seen a million times. and I'm breaking it down. The other thing that bothered me about this game too. Now it looked like it really wasn't going to matter. I understand you want to play Guillaume, who hasn't been terrible. He did get picked off first base, but he hasn't been terrible. He got a double. He's been okay. You want that left-hand bat in there? Okay, I'll live with it. Todd Frazier's got to play third base instead of J.D. Davis in this game. J.D. Davis, who right now is as hot a hitter as they got. I know Ramos has got the 26-game hitting streak. He's as hot a hitter as they got. J.D. Davis got to play. And you play Todd Frazier over J.D. Davis?
I think in that case he's thinking about defense. Well, that's what he's thinking about.
I guess.
And J.D. Davis has not played a lot of third base over the last few months.
But I need that guy in the lineup.
Look, I agree that when I saw the lineup come out, I didn't love it. I want my best players playing. I'm not thinking about rest. I'm not thinking about freshness. At the end of the day, what killed them is that this guy has no idea how to handle a bullpen.
None.
No idea whatsoever.
None.
And, for a while.
And like you said, he fooled himself into thinking that the 6-run lead was safe.
Yeah, he thought the game was over.
Let me get Lugo out so I can use him tomorrow.
Yeah.
Great.
The problem with that is when you've got a big lead and you go to a bad reliever, whether it's Tyler Bachelor or in the Yankees' case, you go to Luis Sessa. Aaron Boone knows, hey, if things get bad.
Right, I got about 4 guys I can go to.
I got 4 guys, but I got Chapman.
Right.
I got my guy.
Right.
You've used your best reliever. He's gone.
Right.
It's done. He's over.
That's why Wilson has to be in this game. I mean, I can't. When I get up this morning, like I said, I didn't see the bottom of the ninth, okay? Because I'm an idiot. I'm not actually. I'm happy.
No, you saved yourself a night's sleep.
You're right, because I don't know if I would have been able to sleep.
No, I didn't sleep.
And I'm telling you, when I heard Harris say that, I was like, I'm like, am I still sleeping? Am I in a fog here? Am I in an alternate reality? I mean, that's not bad. I'm like, really? And then when I heard that Wilson was not in the game, how is he not in the game? This guy's your only other reliable relief pitcher you have. You see this game starting to slip away, and you go to Avalon and Diaz. What? I don't want to hear about matchups. I don't care who's lefty, right.
Here's
doesn't
the matchup.
matter.
Here's the matchup. Justin Wilson is pitching better than all of those guys.
Of
so
course.
You go to him. But it's funny to think about. So for the first 3 months of the season, when the Mets season was spiraling, their biggest problem was this. They had meltdowns, whether it was in L.A. or in Arizona.
No question about it.
They haven't had.
And Lugo blew a bunch of them, too.
He did, no question. He had a few of them. There was one in Chicago. There was the one where they took Noah out too early.
Yep.
But the bullpen meltdowns were starting to go away. We were starting to forget about it.
You're 100% right.
And so this season was defined by the thing that crushed it for the first 3 months.
No doubt.
It comes full circle.
Yep.
This was the thing that killed him for months, and this is the thing that put the final nail in their coffin.
That's taking them out.
And do not waste any of our time by thinking, they still got another run in them.
No.
They are done.
It's over.
They are doner than done.
Yep.